It's the Tony Rose Show on D93, and of course with the big game coming up on Sunday, no better person to go to for the big game than the best in the business, the one and only. Of course, there's a movie called Two for the Money starring Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino. That is this man's story. And of course, his book, Beating the Odds, is a classic out there for anybody into the sports betting world. It is a must-have, a great story. And of course, a lot of stuff going on for the big game. BrandonLang.com, the one and only Brandon Lang, buddy. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, lots going on. My TV show, Cappers, is dropping on Pluto, I think this weekend or next week. We're excited about that and looking for a 15-episode pickup. So we'll see if that gets knocked on the table. Andy White's pretty happy about that. Two for Your Money podcast, me and Steve Buden, we're killing it there. So that's on all your social media outlets and platforms. So we got lots going on, my brother.
You know, of course, when it comes to the big game, the Super Bowl, Eagles, Chiefs, no one in the business that you are in may have a better track record with the big game than you do. You were on such a streak for so many years. What was it? What was the number you were on getting the game? Was it like 13 in a row, 11, 12, 13? It was double digits in a row for the Super Bowl, wasn't it?
17 in my career.
Wow.
And then I lost with Indy and New Orleans. And
wow.
then I dropped Green Bay and Pittsburgh the next year, and then we kind of leveled off. We're 26-6 for my career, 13-6 since the movie came out. So not bad. I mean, it's hard to, there's been some very unpredictable things that have happened and caught me by surprise. A couple of bad beats. I always say there's only two where I felt I was on the wrong side of the game.
Yeah.
And that was the Seattle-Denver Super Bowl, which was just a wrong side. Denver's number one offense versus Seattle's number one defense. Defense went out. And then the other one where I was just completely on the wrong side was Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Where the Tampa Bay defensive line just destroyed Mahomes. And that kind of leads me into last year I had KC over the Niners and got the OT win there. And now we come this year to you got some great numbers supporting both sides of this game. We'll start on the Philadelphia side, where the number one overall defense in the NFL has gotten to the Super Bowl 4 times. And they're 4-0. Ravens beat the Giants 34-7 in 2000. Bucks destroyed Oakland 2-0-2. Patriots over Carolina in 2003, although Carolina covered the number. And then the Super Bowl I just mentioned, 2013, where Seattle just destroyed Peyton and the Broncos 43-8.
Yeah.
That's the Philadelphia side of things. The Kansas City side of the things is Vic Fangio's 0-9 versus Mahomes. 0-6 as head coach of Denver. 0-2 as defensive coordinator of Miami. And then he was hired as a defensive consultant when these two met in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, where Mahomes got him again. So Fangio's 0-9 against him. However, this is the best defense that he has ever had in facing Mahomes. Coaches. 2 coaches meeting in the Super Bowl for the second time. The coach that won the first game won the second game. Chuck Noll beat Tom Landry twice. Jimmy Johnson beat Livy twice. Tom Coughlin beat Belichick twice. And Andy Reid's beaten Kyle Shanahan twice.
Right.
Can he do it again? Can it go to 5-0 with coaches winning the second meeting when they won the first? Last but not least, when the Super Bowl is being played on a field where one of the teams played during the regular season and won, that team has won the Super Bowl on that field as well. We all know that the Eagles beat the Saints in New Orleans in week 3, I believe.
Yes.
Now they're back playing on the Super Bowl field. Those are your numbers. Those are good cases for both sides.
But where is Brandon Lang at on this thing? Where's the smart money at?
Well, the smart money, Vegas money, early money, is on Philadelphia. That line was 1.5, 2 when it first opened. It's down to 1. Now, that may not seem like it's much to people who are listening right now, but in Vegas for the Super Bowl, that's getting the amount of money wagered on it as it is. That half-point line move is a lot. I mean, a lot. So you have early Philadelphia money. I'm going to release the game in about 4 hours, and I will tell you this. 2 things go through my brain. 1, this game reminds me a lot of the Tampa Bay Kansas City Super Bowl. The Kansas City offensive line allows the 3rd most pressures in the NFL this year, so Mahomes has been gotten to by certain teams, most notably the Texans, who sacked him 4 times in that playoff game in the wild card round. With that being said, sometimes you sit back and you go against Mahomes. I'm 2-2 against the spread in Mahomes in the 4 Kansas City Super Bowls. I had him in both win against the Niners, and I went against him in the Philadelphia Super Bowl and I went against him in the Super Bowl when they lost to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
You go against him, you're sitting there all Sunday afternoon going, why did I do it? And then the second thing is I'm still a little lean towards that defensive line of Philly is pretty legit. But again, Mahomes is 9-0 against Vic Fangio. So if you ask me right now where my lean is, I think Philadelphia is the better team.
Yep.
When it comes time to pull that trigger in about 4 hours, the last thing going into my brain is you lose with Mahomes before you try to win with Philly just because the kid just gets it done.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
Of course, BrandonLang.com is where you will get that in about 4 hours. The new show is on Pluto. The podcast is out there as well. And of course, a great read is your book, Beating the Odds. Where are you getting any energy from like this Bears Indy game? You talk about that in your book a lot too, that Bears Indy Super Bowl where the Bears were your nemesis all year long. Is it that kind of energy at all for this game?
It's, you know what it is like I said, I'm 2-2 going with or against Mahomes. I rode him against Frisco. I went against him with Philadelphia and watched, Philadelphia have that game won, and he figured out a way to pull it out. And then in the Tampa Bay game, I knew I was in trouble on the very first series of the game where Tampa just got so much pressure, and I said, row, that's going to be a problem. And it was. That was the only Super Bowl where they got blown out. I think it was 27-9 was the final. I'll put it simple. If and this goes for any regular season game where he's been beat, if he didn't have time to throw, Pat Mahomes is just like every other quarterback in the NFL. He's average. But if he has time to throw, he will carve you up and he will destroy you. And therein lies the problem for Vic Fangio. If he can't get there with his front four, now he's got a blitz, play man behind it, you're done. See ya. Good night. They'll score in 5 plays, 6 plays. But they got to get after him. And we'll see what Fangio does with blitz packages and what have you. The Chiefs has not been great against the run. So you have to believe Spagnuolo is going to bring 8 to stop the run and force Jalen Hurts to make reads and beat him with his arm.
Yeah.
The only thing is, Jalen Hurts was only in his second year in the NFL when he faced him in the Super Bowl, and he put up 35, which was the most points the losing teams ever had in the Super Bowl. He carved him up the first time. So you have to feel that Jalen Hurts being more experienced now, it's going to be I think it's going to be a great game. But at the end of the day, my nemesis is Vic Fangio because I've gone with him 4 times and he's destroyed me 4 times. That's my nemesis. Rex Grossman in my book destroyed me. And I'm still waiting to run into Rex to have my little day in court. But be that as it may, it's going to be a great game on Sunday.
Brandon Lang, you're the best, buddy. BrandonLang.com. Get over there and check it out today. The new podcast is out as well. And, of course, the new show on Pluto, which drops this week, right?
Yep, should be this weekend or next week. And all word is it's so good, there's a 15-episode pickup in the works, and we're waiting to announce that, too. So I should come on for March Madness with you and give you all the good news about the show.
Can't wait, buddy. Hey, you're the best. It's good hearing your voice again, and good luck this weekend, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.